Pelosi calls for riots across the country after Trump shocked her with nasty surprise, by Rebecca DeCirio, Politics US News, for MadWorldNews.com. Nancy Pelosi has gone completely nuts. The aging House Minority Leader is leading the Democrats over the cliff with her irrational behavior and rhetoric. We've seen Pelosi have brain fades and senior moments, but she is now so unhinged she's calling for rioting across the country. It all started when President Donald Trump shocked her with a real nasty surprise. You'll love this. There's nothing like watching Nancy Pelosi conjure her inner actress and portray fake rage over a non-issue. But hey, if you're the House Minority Leader of the losing Democratic Party facing President Donald Trump's common sense, that's all you can do. The new issue, the Democrats are displaying mock outrage over illegal children at the border being ripped apart from their parents. The leftists really do one thing right: messaging. So the Democrats, along with their partners in the mainstream media, are all on the same page, showing the same rage. They have been screaming and shouting at White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders and President Donald Trump for 48 hours about the horrendous policy of making illegal alien children orphans at the border. The truth is, nothing has changed on the border as far as policy goes. Sure, Trump has supported the Border Patrol agents and encourages them to enforce the law, but there are no new laws on immigration since Trump took office, thanks to the Democrats refusing to work with Trump. But the Democrats are desperate. A shocking report came out from liberal sources cited by CNN's Fareed Zakaria, triggering the snowflakes. The recent study proved the Democratic Party is at its weakest point in 100 years, thanks to Barack Obama. Zachariah said, when you tally up their representation in Congress, state legislatures, and governorships, the Democrats almost have their lowest representation in about 100 years. I'm surprised he said that. And he went on to warn it's not getting any better in the near future. I'm actually shocked that that guy made that statement. Now you can see why Pelosi is unhinged. President Trump further set her off after he said he would not sign the horrendous immigration bill currently in the House because it did not fund the wall. Well, that's a no-brainer. If the Democrats are so worried about the poor orphans at the border, maybe they should fund the wall. Oh, but no. That makes too much sense. Why not call for riots? The Washington Times reports House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi told reporters on Thursday that she is confused why Americans aren't uprising against the Trump administration over conditions on the border with Mexico. I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. And maybe there will be when people realize that this is a policy that they defend, she said. It's a horrible thing, and I don't see any prospect for legislation here. Well, Ryan Saavedra, Nancy Pelosi's extreme rhetoric, I don't even know why they aren't uprising all over the country. You got to see her. She's as decrepit as old.
We had a hearing on a subject related to this, asylum seeker, refugees, etc. The Association of Evangelicals. The evangelicals testified that asylum, refugees and asylum, that is they called it the crown jewel of America's humanitarianism. crown jewel of American humanitarianism. And in order to do away with that crown jewel, they're doing away with children being with their moms. This is, I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be when people realize that this is a policy that they defend. It's a horrible thing. And I don't see any prospect for legislation here.
Why not?
Why not? What do we do here? We do nothing. We do nothing.
That's for sure. You do nothing. Yeah, because people are busy working, trying to take care of their home, their kids. So they should go out. How come this wasn't called upon, Nancy, when Obama was in office? How come? This was under Obama this was taking place. Now they have a problem with it? And they're calling the evangelicals. What are you, Nancy Pelosi? Or aren't you Catholic? So I don't get this woman. You see how they're trying to play the religious card now? Are you kidding me, Nancy? That ship has sailed. Once the Pope started spewing his garbage, and you guys started spewing your garbage, nobody's listening to that garbage. Wow, don't you just love the selective moral outrage coming from a woman and her party who are perfectly fine murdering over 600,000 Americans in the womb every year? Oh, but the poor children at the border, yeah, Pelosi and her Democratic Party are the biggest hypocrites yet. Guess who she just labeled as hypocritical? If you guess Trump supporting Christians, you are correct. Yeah, Pelosi actually had the goal to call Christians who support the president's immigration stance hypocrites. She said, people of faith. But it's clear who she meant since she referenced the Bible. The very hypocrisy of the Attorney General to quote the Bible. The hypocrisy of all people of faith in our country not to clamor for what the administration is doing to end, whether it's to deprive the dreamers of the respect they deserve, or whether it's taking babies away from their mothers and fathers, Pelosi said. Well, Mexican-American Anna Paulina responded to Pelosi from the sanctuary state of California saying, you know what really pisses me off as a Latina veteran and as a woman? Elected officials like Nancy Pelosi rallying for the minority vote, constantly showing and taking pictures with Mexicans, saying, I support people south of the border. Yet they sit there and they then make the most ignorant and unthought out statements. For example, supporting of illegal MS-13 gang members to keep them in California. Well, I'm sorry, Nancy Pelosi. You don't give a crap about Mexicans. And here is Ryan Fournier. Nancy, she is a Latina veteran and Native American medical student, and she has a message for you.
You know what really pisses me off as a Latina American woman is when you have elected officials like Nancy Pelosi rallying for the minority vote, constantly showing and taking pictures with Mexicans saying that I support people south of the border, yet they sit there and they make the most ignorant, unthought out statements, for example, supporting of illegal MS-13 gang members to keep them in California. I'm sorry, Nancy Pelosi, you don't give a shit about Mexicans. If you did, you would realize that a majority of people that are coming over to the United States illegally are not only being exposed to human trafficking or drug trafficking, but those women and children that you're so gladly taking photos with and saying that you support are being put into danger and sold for $10,000 on average by the very people that you are saying you protect, MS-13. Why don't you stop attacking the current administration and do your job? You took an oath, start living by it, and actually work towards a reform on immigration so that those people can come over.
Well, that's telling her. People are wising up, even in California. You know it's a liberal talking point when you see the leftist press corps go off on Sarah Sanders, screaming she's a bad parent and has no empathy because she doesn't buy into their rhetoric on the illegal kids at the border. If there are horrendous injustices going on at the border, then all Nancy Pelosi has to do as minority leader is fund the wall and Trump will sign the immigration bill. But since the left couldn't find the horrendous injustices at the border after they tried but failed, they resorted to posting fake reports on kids in cages. One was a kid at a protest in a staged photo. The other picture was from the Obama administration. Both photos were recycled, as happening now as Pelosi and the Democrats cry like babies over something they have total control of. It's the California Congresswoman making her last stand, knowing Trump won't even budge in signing anything on immigration without funding the wall, as Americans are wising up to Pelosi and her Democratic game playing. And I'd like to say, first you take care of your own, Nancy, and then we talk about how we can help. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. So let's start taking care of America first, because America has been run over by a bulldozer since Obama had taken office. It went full speed ahead. It was already going down the tubes with the Bushes, and the Clinton, but it took a real dive after Obama, that's for sure. So Nancy Pelosi, I think it's high time you give up the garbage because nobody's buying your crap. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.